Benjamin Garrett.
Yes, sir. If you would tell us your name for the record.
Benjamin Garrett.
You may proceed.
Your Honor, I just want to start out thanking all the first responders for that night. I know it wasn't something that anybody wanted to go through. And also, I just want to thank Folly Beach, the community, Charleston, Morgan, Utah, North Carolina, everybody around the world for supporting our families through this. Your Honor, that evening was such a good night, celebrating Sam and Eric and their love. And I was looking forward to driving them off to their rental with my son. It was my only job for the wedding. While we were on the drive there, we were talking that night. You know, we were just listening to Sam and Eric talk, flirting with each other. Rogan and I were having conversations. We talked about the breakfast burritos at Bird's Market, how fantastic they were. And that's the last thing I remember that night. The next thing I knew, someone was tapping my shoulder, asking me if I knew where I was. And I remember opening my eyes and seeing all the lights and knowing that I was at the hospital. I had no idea how I got there or what had happened. The next time I woke up, I remember hearing Eric yelling in pain, just screaming, "It hurts, it hurts." There was so much chaos inside the ER, in and out of consciousness. I asked about my son, and one of the nurses came back, I think it was a nurse, I don't know who it was, told me that it didn't look good. And then a little bit later, when I woke up again, they came back and told me that they'd given me the wrong diagnosis. They had given me Eric's diagnosis instead of my son's. And that my son was with my wife, and they'd be taking me back there. The hospital staff eventually took me back to go see my wife and my son. And that's when my wife told me that Sam didn't make it. They didn't know if Eric was going to make it through the night. It was my own to make sure that they got to their rental property and have their honeymoon. Your Honor, I had road rash all over my body. That night, I had no idea what the extent of my injuries. I didn't want to move. I couldn't move. Had stitches in my forehead, an open hole in my knuckles on my left hand, a giant gash on my right wrist, and I couldn't walk, couldn't even stand. I actually, when they released my son, I told them I was going home, and the doctors told me, well, if you can stand, you can go home. It was a struggle to sit up, and I knew that I'd be staying longer. After the first couple of days of my wife getting pretty upset with the condition that I was in, Dr. Hink at NUSC and her team took me in for surgery again. Fixed up the stitches on my forehead and also gave me a fish skin graft on my right wrist. I then spent the next 9 days recovering from injuries and trying to walk. I separated my right SI joint, cracked my sacrum, and tore the labrum in my right hip. I had to practice sitting in a chair so that I could show the doctors that I could fly home and join my family who had left. When I returned home, I was referred to the University of Utah Burn Clinic and instructed to see a general practitioner and orthopedic surgeon. I had more MRIs and x-rays due to problems in my pelvis, my back, and my neck. That is when they found that I had broken vertebrae in multiple places in my back and my neck. And I still have issues there today. I spent 6 months in physical therapy until my insurance told me I ran out of visits. Your Honor, this is just a list of the physical injuries, and most of them I'm still dealing with. I will need to have a hip replacement, fusion of my SI joint, and fusion of my vertebrae in my neck and my back. This will continue to be a burden that we'll have to deal with financially, physically, and emotionally for the rest of my life. The hardest part of this, the whole incident, is the mental and emotional side. Your Honor, my wife and kids saw me in a state they should never see me in. I am unable to be the husband or father that I was or wanted to be in the future. I should be seen as their protector, their rock. My kids and my wife now watch me go downstairs to make sure I can make it. They come out and carry things in from my truck or from our cars because I can't carry them in. These are all things that I own before. And I can't even do stuff around the house. I can't get on the ground to fix a faucet that's leaking. I can't get on the ground to pull weeds or fix sprinklers. Wrestle with my boys, run football routes, throw passes, swing a bat, swing golf clubs, be a catcher for my son when he wants to pitch. I can't even go for a run. I don't even like to run, but I can't go for a run. I would love to be able to do TikTok dances with my daughter like I used to. These are all things that have been taken from us, including my hobbies of hiking, fly fishing, ice fishing, skiing. I get so frustrated that there's so many things that I can't do. And stuff that I do around my house, I now have to hire somebody to do. When before I could just do it on my own. And whenever someone leaves our house, which we've got teenagers, so it happens all the time, we are nervous and always checking on them to see where they're at, hoping that they will make it home safely. It's a new fear for us. It's a new fear for me just to even make it home. I have a golf ball in my truck that when I start getting anxiety when I'm driving, I take a golf ball and rub the dots, the dimples in it, to help ground me and help me calm down. And I always go back in my mind to that night, me being the driver, if there was something that I could have done. Something I could have done different. I replay the events leading up to it constantly in my mind. Like Rogan going back to get Sam's cell phone. How long we sat at a stoplight listening to a song. Could I have gone a different route? Could I have gone slower? Could I have gone faster? These are the things that I struggle with every day. Every day I am in constant pain and have no way to get the relief that I need. I have to go to work. I have a family to support, and I work in construction and drive a lot, so I can't take painkillers. When I get up in the morning, I say a prayer that the pain today will not be that bad, and that I'll be able to do the things that I need to do to take care of my family. It is a daily struggle. Some days it's hourly. But I will not let James' choice to drink and drive that night keep me from trying every day to get better. Your Honor, I don't know Jamie. I don't know her personality. I've never talked to her. I don't plan on talking to her. But the decision to drive drunk that night was made well before April 28th, 2023. I'm a strong believer that people have a moral compass in their lives, whether we agree with that compass or not. Everybody has a moral compass, and Jamie made the decision that it was okay to drink and drive well before that night. There is a statement that Jamie made in one of the calls to her father where she asked, "Why did this happen to me?" Like she didn't have control over this. Your Honor, nothing happened to Jamie. Jamie happened to Sam. Jamie happened to Eric. Jamie happened to Brogan. Jamie happened to me. Jamie happened to everybody that was impacted by this. She chose well before that night to drink and drive, and that it would be okay. It was not. I'm not sure that Jamie is remorseful. We are here today, a little over 19 months later, listening to her plead guilty. Even though I am thankful for that, and that we aren't going to trial, we did not get to delay the physical and emotional prison that Jamie put us in for 19 months. The evidence was there. Why did it take this long? Jamie will serve her time and the penalty that the court decides, and we will respect that. She will eventually get out, but the prison that she has put us in will be with us the rest of our lives. We will never get Sam back. Our lives will never be the same. I think about having grandchildren and not being able to get on the ground and play with them.